We've all been there, right? That sudden sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach when you reach for your wallet or your purse and you realize your driver's license is just gone. It is a moment of pure frustration. And then, almost immediately, comes the dread of having to spend hours waiting in line at some government building. But hey, take a deep breath. Relief is actually just a few clicks away. Welcome to this explainer, where we are going to unpack a surprisingly fast, completely online solution for replacing a lost Mississippi driver's license. Getting that last license replaced promptly is absolutely crucial. Not only is it your main form of ID, but driving without it, yeah, that can obviously lead to a whole lot of unnecessary headaches. But here's the really interesting part. Modern solutions mean you literally don't even have to leave your house. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety, or DPS, has actually built a driver self-service portal that lets you skip those physical lines entirely. You can handle the whole shebang right from your couch. But to get through it successfully without getting tangled up in bureaucratic red tape, you really need to know exactly how their system works. So here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover preparation. Second, a step-by-step guide. Third, payments and security. Fourth, timelines and tracking. And finally, we'll wrap up with rules and exceptions. Let's just dive right in.
Okay, Section 1, Preparation. Let's find out if you are actually eligible to apply online.
Before we start clicking around the internet, we really need to save you some time by making sure you qualify to use this portal. To get a duplicate license online, the DPS requires you to meet a few specific conditions. First off, you've got to have a valid photo on file in their system. If you don't, well, the portal simply won't work for you, and you are strictly required to go visit a driver license station in person to snap a new picture. Second, your driver's license status itself has to be valid. If it's suspended, or if you have a commercial driver's license that's out of compliance, the system is going to hold you up until that's sorted. And third, you absolutely must have a physical address on file. And that brings us to a massively important point about your address, which is honestly one of the biggest roadblocks applicants face. The DPS explicitly warns, and they put this in bold, do not proceed if your post office doesn't deliver mail to your physical address. They currently do not mail credentials to post office boxes, period. All credentials will be mailed to the exact physical address listed on the license, no exceptions. If you try to game the system and use a PO box, it's going to halt your progress immediately, and you'll just be told to visit your nearest station. Now, there is one very specific, very helpful exception to the standard process here, and that's for Mississippi residents who are currently living out of state for college. The state totally gets that you shouldn't have to book a flight home just for a piece of plastic, so they have a specialized mail-in protocol. You'll need to put together a little packet, a photocopy of your out-of-state college ID, a notarized letter on college letterhead proving you're a full-time student, a photocopy of your Mississippi license if you have a copy lying around, and an $11 certified check or money order made out to the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. Just keep in mind, they absolutely do not accept cash or personal checks for this. You'll just mail that whole packet right to the office of Central Print in Canton, Mississippi. All right, Section 2, Step-by-Step Guide. Let's navigate this online application together. Assuming you're a standard applicant with a physical address and a photo on file, you are good to go. The actual mechanics here are super straightforward. Step 1, just head over to the DPS Driver Self-Service portal at ms.gov/DPS. You'll see a menu of services, and you just want to click the one that says Request your duplicate driver's license or ID card. Step 2, the system needs to verify you are who you say you are. Usually, you'd use your actual driver's license number for this, but obviously if your card is lost in the wild and you don't have the number memorized, don't panic. The system will actually let you enter the last 4 digits of your social security number instead. Then, step 3, you'll be prompted to plug in your personal information, verify your voter registration, and confirm your organ donor status. Easy as that. Now, here is a crucial point to remember. Absolute precision is key. When you're typing in your personal info, the state is super clear that you must enter it exactly as it appears on your current driver's license. I mean exactly. Even a tiny variation in how you spell your street name compared to what they have on file can cause a frustrating system mismatch. So take your time here, type carefully to avoid any annoying error messages or delays. Moving on to Section 3, Payments and Security. Let's look at the checkout fees and how your data is protected. So what is this going to cost? Well, the baseline number to keep in mind is $11. That is the standard base fee the state of Mississippi charges for a replacement license. But as you probably guessed, since we're doing this online, that base fee isn't the final number you're going to see on your receipt. Let's break down the full cost. You've got that $11 base fee. Then for any transaction done through this self-service portal, the state tags on a flat online postage and handling surcharge of $1.50. And finally, there's a credit card convenience fee.
Why? Because Mississippi state law actually prohibits local governments from eating credit card processing fees, so that cost gets passed straight to us, the consumers. This fee is variable, meaning it fluctuates a bit based on the transaction amount. You'll see the exact final total before you hit submit, so no surprise charges, but just expect it to be a little bit higher than that initial $11. When you're ready to check out, the system is pretty flexible. It accepts Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express, both credit and debit. I definitely recommend having your card sitting right next to you so the session doesn't time out while you're frantically digging through your couch cushions looking for your wallet. Now, I know some folks feel a bit uneasy about sending private financial info to a government website. That perceived risk is totally normal, but let's look at the reality here. The DPS officially states that paying online is actually safer and more dependable than sending a check through the mail. This portal utilizes cutting-edge encryption technology. It's essentially a heavily guarded digital vault, ensuring that only the people you approve can access your confidential data. You'll also notice during checkout that you have to provide an email address. Don't worry, this isn't so they can flood your inbox with spam. It's strictly needed to send you a final payment confirmation and, more importantly, to notify you instantly if there's any hiccup processing your payment. Plus, for a little extra peace of mind, the Department of Public Safety's official policy is that they will never release your email address to outside parties. Okay, Section 4, Timelines and Tracking. When is this new license actually going to show up? Let's map out exactly how long you'll be waiting. Day 0 is validation, and that happens immediately the second you hit submit. From there, your info enters a processing phase at the state level, which takes up to 48 hours. Once that's done, the license gets systematically printed and handed off to the mail carrier. The state asks that you allow 3 to 5 business days for delivery once it's been dispatched. So, if we do the math, you're looking at roughly a week to a week and a half from the moment you pay to the moment that envelope drops into your mailbox. But hey, if a week and a half goes by and you're getting anxious, you can totally track your status. The best route is to contact the Mississippi DPS directly. You can give them a ring at 601-487-7028 or shoot them an email at contactdsb@dps.ms.gov. Just a quick heads up. If you call, the rep has to pull up your specific file, so be sure to have all your personal info ready and definitely have your driver's license number handy if you know it. Finally, let's jump into Section 5, Rules and Exceptions. These are the crucial details you really can't ignore. This is probably the most important rule of all. And honestly, it's a bit of a hard truth. The state enforces a very strict policy when it comes to the physical transit of your new ID. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety explicitly states that they are absolutely not responsible for driver's licenses that get lost in the mail. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, let's look at the worst-case scenario. Step 1, you pay, they process it, and hand it to the post office. Step 2, through zero fault of your own, the post office somehow loses your envelope. Step 3, because the state legally washes their hands of it once it's in the mail, you have to submit a completely new application and pay that $11 fee plus all those online surcharges all over again to get a second one printed. Yeah, it's super frustrating for sure, but knowing this risk up front definitely helps manage expectations. All right, let's do a super quick process recap so you're ready to go. First, double check that you have a valid photo and a physical address, no P.O. boxes, on file. Next, hit up the ms.gov/DPS portal and log in using your license number or the last 4 of your SSN. Make sure to type your details exactly as they looked on your old card. Pay the $11 fee plus the online surcharges securely with your card. And finally, just keep a close eye on your mailbox for the next 3 to 5 business days after processing. As with literally any government process, we have to mention this evergreen disclaimer. Procedures, portal requirements, and fees can and definitely do change over time. While this explainer gives you a highly detailed, accurate roadmap based on current rules, you should always double-check the latest details directly on the official Mississippi DPS website before you start your application. Losing your driver's license is a massive inconvenience, but getting a new one, it really doesn't have to be. By checking your eligibility, navigating the portal carefully, and understanding the costs and timelines, you can knock out this stressful chore in a matter of minutes right from your living room. So now that you know the absolute fastest route, are you ready to skip those dreaded lines and get back on the road? It really makes you wonder, what other tedious government chores have quietly moved online while we weren't looking? Thanks so much for learning with us today, and drive safe.